Good morning. Hi cubies and newbies, I am Sunshine, and this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. I like playing with Rubik's Cubes. This one here is a fidget spinner. Just a little fidget spinner. You can spin the sides, you can hold the sides and spin the center. It comes apart and it'll be a top. You can put it back together again. It's very similar to this fidget spinner. You can spin it, but you can also rotate the centers to see what happens if the centers are a quarter turn off. Spin, 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 spin. Okay, it's another Monday. How are we all doing today? Romper, bumper, stomper, boo. You're not old enough to remember that. Okay, it's Monday, so I can start by scrambling all of my cubes. Excuse me. Excuse me. My kitty is looking out the window. Somebody coming in? No. Alright, so what am I doing today? Who's here? Thank you for being here, Duncan Dropsnut. I appreciate you guys. I was looking at the requirements for being an affiliate here on Twitch, and I'm like, well, I've done that, I think I've done that. Well, yeah, and I have more than 50 followers, so I'm like, so then it said I had to have more than an average of three viewers per stream, and I'm like, well, I think I've got that, because among the streams that I make, sometimes I get between 10 to 20 people watching me, but when I looked and it said I have an average viewer per stream of 0.5. I'm like, I guess they mean every minute of the whole stream, not in the stream. So you guys can find friends to come watch me. I'm like, I guess I'm not there yet. It's a good goal. Hello. As I was saying, I'm Sunshine. It's a brand new week. Let's play. Let's have fun. Okay, here's my 2, my 3, my 4, my 5. Let's scramble the meeks too. Let's just scramble all of them today. It's Monday. Why not? Do. Scramble, 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 scramble. So does anyone know how they figure out the average viewers per stream? Because I don't know how I have an average of 0.5 viewers per stream. I mean, I've got, 6 of you right now. Do they average out, like, every minute? And so, like, people, I don't know. I have no idea how I have an average of 0.5 viewers per stream. But let's just play and have fun. This is, you guys, I'm guessing you guys are younger than me. I don't know that, but I'm guessing you're younger than me. And I'm old enough to just still appreciate that we're living in the future, that I'm here and you're there and you can see me in real time. I grew up in days of pen and paper letters. So the internet always still fascinates me. Alright, so we've got all these cubes scrambled. shall I do first, you guys? Talk to me. Also, Twitch has set a goal of having 5 people chatting per stream. I've only had 3, so what questions can I ask you to get you guys engaged in the stream? All right, this one looks scrambled, but it isn't really. In order to scramble this one, you have to actually solve it by shape and then scramble the 9 sides. Otherwise, they're too simply done. So I'm going to solve this by shape. And then I'm going to, while it's not correct, I'm going to scramble the 9 side. That's the best way to get a really good scramble on the 9 side. Okay, you notice I'm not muscling things into place, because if I do, I'll offset my center. So the center has to be horizontal before you start. So that one is fine, this one's fine. There we go. Okay, so the corners are solved by shape, not by color. And now let's just set the edges, opposite edges. This one would be. I recognize all y'all's names, so I'm not over explaining everything, because I think you guys know what I'm doing. If we see any new people drop in that I don't recognize their names, I'll start explaining, giving you an overview. Okay, so now that it's solved by shape and not by color, I can scramble the 9 by side a little bit. I can scramble it. I always tell my newbies that scrambling is the hardest part. So when they make a mistake and they've, I'm like, you just did the hardest part, all by accident. The scrambling is the hardest part, because when you're new and things start falling into place, you get this thrill, and you're like, I don't want. And I'm like, okay, scramble it and do it again. But I don't want to. Just tell me how to finish it first. And when you've gotten to where you've gotten better and you're mastering it, then you start to scramble it, and it's like, wait, that's not scrambled enough. That still gives me an easy thing to do. All right, so this looks scrambled. Now I'm going to scramble it without looking. Okay. All right. One of these things is not like the other. Okay. Okay. No matter which cube you have, it has 8 corners. Do I have any others that are different looking, so I can demonstrate how they're all the same? This one. Let's scramble this one. The only real way to scramble this one is to get it back into shape and then scramble those edges. But, so that one looks good enough. Good enough for who it's for. Good enough for government, I should say. Okay, so no matter which cube you have, they all have 8 corners. And so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna solve those 8 corners. Okay. For this one, my plus cube. For this one, I'm going to ignore the extensions here, and I'm just going to solve the 3x3 part of it as a 3x3. Okay, so I'm going to bring yellow to the top. Okay, is there a yellow here or here? Yes. So formula A, we'll bring it to the top. And that is bottom row, right column. Doesn't look like it, but it is. Okay, there's a yellow on top. Slide the top. Keep going. Is there a yellow here or here? No. 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 Yes. Out. Down. In. Up. There it is. Slide the top. There's the yellow. Bring it to the top. I do love playing with the random cubes. Okay, yellow. Okay, slide it out of the way. Keep going. Was yellow here? Yes. And the plus cube is another reason why yellow works for doing this. Okay, yellow is on top on all four corners. I'm going to set it aside. Let's do this one. Okay, first thing you have to do is make sure that the centers are horizontal so that when I get to that stage, they'll move. So I start by everything horizontal. Here's the yellow. We'll keep it. Is this a yellow or is this a yellow? No. Slide the bottom. No. Slide the bottom. Yes. And then formula A will bring it to the top. You can use variations of formula A as you get more comfortable with what you're doing. Again, I know this is beneath you guys. I do. But this method is not a speed solve method. It's not a fewest moves method. This is the method for the newbies who are like jealous but don't want to put in the time. They're like, I can't do it. I tried. I can't learn it. It's too hard. But just tell me the secret so I can solve it, and then I'll be happy. I don't care how fast I am. This is that. This is the secret. You can learn this inside of 2 hours. It's two patterns. Formula A, Formula B. I call them formulas because I can't call them algorithms because that gets confusing with the real way of solving the cube. Okay, yellow's on top on this one. Here's a yellow. There's no yellow here or here, but there is there. Formula A will bring the corners will bring the active color to the top. And for corners, it's the top, bottom row, and right column. When yellow's on top, slide it out of the way. Keep going. Is there a yellow here or here? No. Yes. So there's no real decisions to make. There's things you have to ascertain, but the cube tells you. You don't decide anything. Okay. Yellow's on top on all four corners. We're going to leave that like that. Okay. This one. Here's a yellow. Excuse me, you got itchy nose. Okay. Who else here? Good morning, good morning. Hi, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for following me. I appreciate it. I need to find more friends because I have an average viewers per stream of 0.5. I have no idea how that matters because you guys are like always here. I see your names all the time. I have no idea how that happens. So here's a yellow corner. Is there a yellow here? Yes. So A will bring it to the top. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. And again until the yellow's on top. Okay? When yellow's on top, hold the cube stable, rotate the top out of the way. I don't need to tell you guys this. You guys know this. I'm feeling redundant today. That's why I decided to do other shapes as well. Why is my yellow not, there it is. Yellow's on top, slide it out of the way, keep going on another cube that wants to turn, twist, there's a white and there's a white, we're looking for yellow, there's not a yellow, there's a yellow. And then bottom row, right column, out, down, and up, brings the yellow to the top. Okay, here's your yellow, here's your yellow. Formula A will bring it to the top. Slide it to protect it, and can keep going. There's no yellow here or here, or here, or here, or here. Formula A brings it to the top. Slide. There's another yellow. Formula A brings it to the top. Okay, yellow's on top. Here's another yellow. Nothing here, but there's yellow here. I'm just going to cheat in the shortcut here. Because I can. All right. And then Formula A will bring the yellow to the top. When the yellow is on top, or your active color, whatever it happens to be, if you're color neutral, that's just fine. However, one of three things has happened, and we have to ascertain what has happened. Either all of now your corner has three colors, so we're going to need to look at the sides, and either they match to each other, or they don't. And either all of them match, or none of them match, or one side matches. You can never have 2 or 3 side matches and the other one not, unless you filled off stickers. Don't fill off stickers. So yellow's on top on all of these. So the next thing to do is we ascertain whether it's one side, 0 sides, or all sides. This one, red does not equal green, orange equals orange. So this one has one side that matches. This one, red equals red, green equals green, orange equals orange. This one has all sides that match. Okay, so we've got 2 columns. Green does not equal blue, blue does not equal orange, but the red side matches. So this one has a side that matches. Green does not equal blue, red does not equal green, but the orange side matches. So this one has one side that matches. And this one, blue does not equal green, or the red side matches. So either none of them, all of them, or one of them. If one of them, we set it aside, wait for the rest of the class to catch up. This one, can't tell because it's a plus cube. So for the rest of these, we can make the yellow sides match each other now. And Formula A brings a piece to the top, Formula B moves pieces around. I've gotten into my spiel, haven't I? Spiel. Okay. Good morning. Hi, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so yellow's on top. This one's all correct. These ones all have one side that matches. This one, we don't care yet. So, side that matches. If none of the sides match, it doesn't matter how you hold it. You're going to do Formula B and then bring yellow to the top again. If one side matches, you hold the matching face facing away from you. We're going to do Formula A. What's happening is that these 3 cubes, these 3 corners are all moving. So these 2 are correct to each other. They're going to stay correct to each other over here, and this one's going to go over here. You don't have to know this, the cube does. So it has the effect of switching these 2, but really you're always moving 3 pieces. You're never moving just 2, which is important to know when parodies come up to trick you later on. Parodies are a lie. You don't have to play with them if you don't want to. They can be fun, and they can be solved in 10 steps. They can be created or dissipated here in 10 steps. But you can always, you can just a single quarter turn them away. We'll get to that later. So matching color goes to the back. Formula B is the top row 2 columns, and for the corners, it's the outside columns. Slide up, slide down, slide down. Formula A to bring the yellow back to the top again, and your cube will have advanced to the next phase. If none of them matched, now one side will match. If one side matched, now all of them will match. That's the only thing that the only situations that you can have. Okay, so now these all match. Do this one. Orange matches, face it away. Slide up, down, down, and then just right into Formula A to bring the yellow back to the top. And like I said, if one side matched, when you're done, all of them will match. If none of the sides matched, when you're done, one side will match. Okay? So yellow's on top, and the sides match each other again. Let's do this one. Red's the matching color, faces away. Top row, outside columns. Up, down, down. And then Formula A brings your color back to the top. Keep your cube stable. Doesn't really matter for the first 4. but I solved the second floor the exact same way. So I teach you to be as careful with the first floor as the second floor, so that you only have to learn one way of doing it. Alright, red does not equal green, orange matches, so it faces away. Slide up, slide down, and formula A will bring our yellow back to the top. Okay, alright, so yellows are happy to each other. Now we're going to put the yellows face down, and we're going to work on the other four corners. Okay, let's do this one, and bring white to the top down. I don't have to look and see this, so the white's there. I'm looking at this, I'm ignoring all the extensions. I'm looking at this as if it were a 3x3. Okay, so I've got the corners done here, now I'm going to get the corners done here. Formula A, bottom row, right column. Formula A is going to bring my whites to the top. Most cubes can be tamed with A and B. I do not speak to the shapeshifters unless it's just like a 3x3 mod, because the shapeshifters intimidate me. I have not mastered the shapeshifters. Up, down, and up until my white's on top. There it is. Slide the top to preserve it. Keep going. Up, down, and up. Up, down, in, up. Up, down, in, up. Up, down, in, up. Okay, white's on top, and our yellows are still on top, still on the bottom. Okay. Again, yellows go face down. If I have a white on top, I'll start with them. If I don't, it doesn't matter. I just start wherever I want to. But once you start doing the formula A, you don't rotate the cube until you white's on top on all of the cubes, all of the corners. So up, hold the cube stable, slide the top, keep going. Hold the cube stable, slide the top, keep going. And we're ignoring the yellows. We can see them moving around, and if we lose confidence halfway through, we can say, "Oh no, I messed up my yellows. I have to start again." No, you didn't. The yellows, formula A, formula B does not mess up anything but the pieces you're trying to move. So when the white's on top, the yellows are still happy. Okay. So yellows are face down. Here's a white. Bring the other white corners to the top. It's using formula A. It's on top, hold the cube stable, slide it out of the way, keep going. Until your white comes to the top, hold the cube stable, push, okay, it's on top on all four corners. Okay, we'll pause. Yellow goes face down, and bring white to the top. On the corners, we're ignoring everything but the corners, we don't care. And we're ignoring the yellows, we've abandoned them because we trust them to take care of themselves. And right now they're dancing all around, and if I look at them, I'll think, oh no, I've messed up, and I'll start again. But formula A does not mess up the rest of the cube when you're working on it. It only moves the pieces you want to move, so when the white's on top again, the yellows are still happy. Okay, yellow goes face down, bring the whites to the top. These are on top already, so I'll start here. Oh, you guys, while I'm doing this, I was asked about Discord. I created a Discord. Yay me. So I created a Discord server for us, as requested. White's on top. It's just my name, ABCube Tutor. So if you go to Discord and search for ABCube Tutor, you should find me, and you should find my server, my meeting room. I don't know what terminology to use, but I did it. My youngest helped me yesterday. So, hi iCube, how are you doing? So yellows are face down, whites are already on top. So whites are on top on all of these cubes. Okay. Next thing to do is check the sides, and the yellows are still correct to each other. Okay, so the next thing to do is to check the sides, which you can't do on the plus cube, but we're still keeping it in the game. All right, so just like we did for the yellows, red does not equal blue, or red does not equal orange, blue does not equal orange, but green equals green. So one of three things has happened. What is this cube? This is this cube is a plus cube. You'll see that in a minute. I've got to finish my corners on these ones, and then I'll show you how it's a plus cube. So we're determining whether or not. So for the white side only, white corners, either every corners match, none of them match, or one does. And if one does, okay, so the first one, this one has one side that matches, this one has one side that matches, this one has no sides that match, this one has one side that matches, and this one has all sides match. So one of three things will have happened. Either the sides already automatically match to each other, in which case that you pause and wait for the rest of the class to catch up, or none of them match, in which case it doesn't matter which way you hold it. We're going to do, for all of these things, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the formula B, and then A to bring you white back to the top again. And if none of them match, the end result will be that one side matches. And if one side matches, the end result will be that all sides match. So if none of them match, it doesn't matter which way you hold it. We're going to do formula B, up, down, down, and then A to bring the piece back to the top again. There it is. Hold the cube stable, rotate just the top, slide. Hold the cube stable. Okay, so yellows have not been affected. Whites are on top on all four corners, and now they all have one side that matches. So again, same thing, formula B and then A to bring it back to the top. Up, down, down. I wanted to shake things up by throwing in the 3x3 and the void and the plus cube today. So corners match the top, but yellow is still happy. Slide the top so that they match, and this one's done. Boom. So you do that on all of these, and then I will show you how the plus cube, what to do next on the plus cube. Okay, so one side matches, hold it facing away. Formula B, up, down, down. A to bring the whites back to the top, and when we're done, all of the corners will match. The first four corners will match to each other, the second four corners will match. Can I solve every cube with A and B? That's what I'm demonstrating right here and right now. I'm working with the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 3x9, and the void and the plus cube, and I'm solving all of them with just formula A and just formula B. There's no You're a first-time chatter. There's no parity algorithm because you don't need to play with parities unless you want to. So, are you new to me? Did you just find me? Because if you are, I'm going to stop and give you my little introduction spiel. You're a first-time chatter. Okay, great. Well, yes. Formula A is 4 moves. Formula B is 8 moves, and with it, you can solve every complexity Rubik's Cube, as long as you can hold it in your hand. Formula A, Formula B is all you need. Formula A is 4 moves. It brings a chosen piece to the top face, and Formula B moves 3 pieces around, and that's all you need to do. Because if it's the top row and the outside columns, it's going to move corners. If it's the top row and an outside and inside column, it's going to move edges. If it's top row and 2 inside columns, it's going to move centers. So each type of cube can be moved with Formula B, and so that's all you ever need to do. You'll notice that this does not handle parity. That's because parity is a lie. You can play with parities all you want, but they are all caused by the exact same thing, which is why you can't have a parity on a 3x3, but you can on a void cube. They are caused by an absolute the center slice being a quarter turn off. If you have a corner parity, it's because the slice that the parity is on is a quarter turn off. So while it looks like you have two pieces on this slice that need to swap, If you rotate 1/4 turn, then you have one of those two pieces is now correct, and the other three can be moved together, and you've just undone your parity with a single 1/4 turn. You don't do if you're doing a reductionist method, centers out, then you have to reset your centers, but I do centers last, so it doesn't matter. Thank you. Said it was interesting. All right, so formula A, formula B. Let me get this into its shape so you can, because you asked what this was. Okay, so the first thing I do is I do the yellow corners, and then I turn it upside down and do the white corners. And then I've taught myself to look for yellow and white, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite edges, which I do of yellow and white, because I've already been training my eyes to look for yellow and white, so I'm going to keep looking for yellow and white. So I'm looking for a yellow or white in the middle here that wants to move to the outside. I want it to be on top, not in the front. So I'm going to move this I'm going to start here. This one so that you can see it first, and then I'll jump to here. Okay, so yellow and white are left and right. I can set my absolute center now if I want to, but it really doesn't matter because it's going to keep moving around. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not finish my whites. Okay, opposite edges, go to the back, and up, up, down, down. Okay. And then formula A to bring the piece back to the top again. I interrupted myself, which is a good way to get confused. Okay, so I do the first 4 corners. I bring the color to the top, and then formula B to move them around as needed, and then then when they're happy to each other, I abandon the yellows. I do the same thing for the whites, and then my 4 corners are correct. Okay, and when the corners are correct, I line them up, and we're going to use the corners to do the next steps. So this one corners are correct. This one, all of the corners are correct. This one, all the corners are correct. And this one, when the white's on top, and you look at the corners, one of 3 things has happened. Either all of them are correct to each other, none of them are correct to each other, or one of side is correct to each other. And if none of them, it doesn't matter how you hold it, because after you do this, you're going to have 1. But if one side is matching, it faces away. And you do formula B, top row, outside columns. That's going to move these 3 pieces around. Up, up, down, down. And having done formula B, I do formula A to bring my color back to the top. Up, up. Slide the top to keep it safe and continue with the next corner. I don't rotate the cube at all, because formula A will be done in multiples of 6, and multiples of 6 never upset the rest of the cube. So as I'm working with the white corners, the yellow corners dance around, but they always resolve themselves. Okay, so now I've got the yellow corners correct on everything. So next thing I'm going to do, so top row and outside columns, formula B moves corners. So I'm going to do this edges now. I'm going to do opposite edges first. So with yellow and white left and right, I'm going to look for a yellow or white piece in the middle. And here's one. But I want the active color to be on top. So I'm going to flip this cube. With it, pay attention to this cube still. I'm going to flip it so that my yellow is on top. Yellow and white are still left and right. I bring the corners to match the front. And then I determine which direction it's going. And formula B is going to move, it's going to be the top row and 2 columns. And the 2 columns are going to be where the cube is to begin with and where the cube wants to land, because the cube itself dictates what those columns are. So I start by moving the piece away from the action. And then first up is where it's going to land. Second up is where it began. And then back down and down. So it's 8 moves. It's a commutator. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. And so I just pick a piece that has a yellow or white where doesn't want to be, and then I throw it in the direction it wants to be. So away, first up, back, second up, away, down, back, down. Okay? And for as long as there's a yellow or white in the middle, I place it the same way. So corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Away, first up, in, second up, away, first down, in, second down. And just place a piece at a time. When I have no more yellow or whites in the middle, then I assess. Okay, so either the opposite edges are correct now or they're not, and if they're not, then I'm going to find a piece that's wrong, and I'm going to displace a random piece into that spot to move it out to the middle. Are you still here? Is this still interesting? Okay, so here it is in the middle. Flip the cube so it's on top, yellow, white, or left and right. Yay! Yellow, white, or left and right. Bring the corners to match the front. Okay. It's going in this direction. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. And there it is. This is not a speed solve method, it's not a fewest moves method, but you can learn it inside of 2 hours and walk away knowing that you can pick up any cube in any state of scramble and put it down solved. No matter how much your brother tried to teach you and you couldn't figure it out, this way, this works. So corners match the front, it's going in this direction, away from the action, up, first up is where it's going to land, into the action, second up, away, down, in, down, and there it is. And there's another yellow to place. We're just going to keep placing white and yellows until there's no more in the middle, and then we assess and see whether we have to keep going. Up, up, down, down. Okay, that's not yellow or white, 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 so we assess. And the edges are happily between the corners they match on both sides. So that's the opposite edges. All right, I'm taking a vote here. Do you want me to keep going on this one, or do you want me to solve all of them together? Do you want to see what goes, or do you want me to finish this one? Because I can next demonstrate that you do the same thing on the 4x4 as you do on the 5x5. When I'm teaching, I teach all 4 of them, the 2 through the 5 at the same time, because humans have this ability to trick themselves with their mind. And if I teach just the 3x3 to start with, then when I go to show how it applies to the 4x4, people are like, oh, no, don't do that. So I teach with all of them, but I will be happy. So I'm just going to do the 4x4, the 3 and the 4, so you can see, so I don't have to, doesn't take so long and you can get to the end. So the opposite edges are done. I'm going to do the yellow and white on this one too. So I just look for the centerpiece that's white or yellow. I hold my cube as dictated by the corners. Once the corners are done, the corners dictate what color each face is going to be. So yellow and white are left and right. Found a piece in the middle. Bring the corners to match the front. Determine its direction. It's going this way, and nothing else is convenient to place at the same time. But both of these want to come out, so I'm going to displace both of them at the same time. So up, up, down, down. So here's another one. Bring the corners to match the front. It's going in this direction. I can place both of these at the same time. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay, find another yellow or white with the active color on top. Corners match the front. Determine its direction. See if any others want to tag along. And then place. Up, up, down, down. It's just a kitty. All right. These ones are together, so I can keep them together. I do not pair up my edges before I do this. I don't use a reductions method because that seems to me to be double effort. You know, there's first of all, if I find a piece and throw it in its direction where it wants to be, it's going to land. I find another piece. It's easier for me to just find any random piece that wants to place than it is for me to say, oh, where is the other red and white? And how do I put them together? So I don't spend time looking for pieces. I just find a piece that's wrong and I throw it. Okay, so slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay, here's if they are together, I can keep them together. That's just fine. Slide up, slide down, slide down. But I don't spend time looking for a particular piece, and I think that helps a little bit. So corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Nothing else wants to tag along. So up, up, down, down. Okay, another white or yellow. Corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Away up, in, up, away down, in, down. Okay, there's another one. Corners match the front. Up, up, down, down. Okay, I think I've demonstrated enough for you to see how I've done that. I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to go back to the yellow now. I just wanted to demonstrate how that works. Okay, so now that I've got the opposite edges done, all that's left is my side edges. This is where I will line up my absolute center if it's not lined up already. So then, I like yellow more than white, so I'm going to put the white face down, because we started with yellow, we're going to end with yellow. And so, we've already established that Formula B takes a piece from the top front to the side front. So we're going to keep doing that. I'm going to displace one of my yellows. On the 3x3 there's only one. And displace it into the incorrect spot, white's going to be face down for the rest of this solve. So I'm going to displace this yellow into this spot so that I can play with this corner, with this edge piece. So away, up, in, up, it's still Formula B, and then this piece is on top. White is face down, I'm abandoning it. I'm ignoring all of the yellows now. I'm only paying attention to the one piece at a time that I'm placing. So I'm looking for the piece on top that's not the top color, which is this one. Hold the top row, rotate the entirety of the cube until corners match the front. Corners as dictated by the bottom corners, because we're ignoring the top face right now. So corners match the front. It's orange and blue, needs to go to the orange and blue side, not the orange and green side. So it's going this direction. So top row, 2 columns. The 2 columns are where it's going to end up and where it begins. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Okay? And that, whatever was here is now back here. We're going to keep doing this till the yellow finds its way back to the top. And the yellow will find its way back to the top as we keep placing pieces. It will be either correct or incorrect. We don't care as long as it comes to the top layer. So corners match the front. It's going in the green direction. If I'm going too fast or too slow, feel free to ask me questions. So it's going in this direction. So away from the action. First up is where it's going to land. Back in. Second up is where it began. And then it is placed, and we go down and down. Okay, here's another piece on top that's not yellow. Line it up to the corners, bring the corners to match the front, really. It's going in this direction, and that's going to place my yellow back to the top. And it will either be correct or incorrect, and if it's correct, yay, we're done. If it's incorrect, then we reassess what to do next. Okay? So that's for the 3x3 is just so just the corner solves the 2x2, just putting the edges in solves the 3x3, and then everything else just needs to solve the cages done. Now we just solve the centers, and the centers are also solved by formula B. To demonstrate, here's the solved cube. If I want to move this green piece to the orange side, I go up. First horizontal is to line it up so something advantageous is going to come down. Then I go up, slide to a different column, second up, and then reverse down, set the top, and we just moved these 3 pieces. It looks like we moved 2 pieces, but 2 of them were green, so you couldn't tell. We're always moving 3 pieces, never moving 2. So to demonstrate, if I line this up, and then I go up into a different column, second up, reverse down, this piece did not come here, it moved here. So you can see that you're always moving 3 pieces. And Formula A brings the corners to the top and the absolute center. Formula B moves 3 pieces around, and that's all you ever need to do. Because parities are a lie. We don't need parities. We can play with parities all we want to. There's lots of parity algorithms you can play with if you want to. But a parity, the cube is inherently honest, and if you have a parity, then it is always caused by one thing and one thing only. It's caused by one of your slices is a quarter turn off. And since that can't happen without us recognizing it on a 3x3, we don't get parities on a 3x3. But you can't get them on a void cube because you don't know which way if your center is correct or not. And you can do it on a 4x4 because the center pieces that are not the absolute center are different from the pieces of a 3x3, in that for a 3x3, every piece has one place and one place only it can be correct. This piece, this corner right here, could be visually correct next to the orange, yellow, and blue corner, or it could be visually correct in this spot right here next to the orange, yellow, and green corner, or it can be visually correct here. So you can place the centers visually correct, but have this slice be 1/4 turn off without you knowing it. The only way to know it is if you get a parity. If you get a parity, it's because the center is a 1/4 turn off. So if you have two pieces and only two pieces that need to switch. Oh, you followed me. Thank you so much. If you have two pieces and only two pieces that need to switch, if the slice that touches that parity, if you rotate it a 1/4 turn, let's see, these are the two pieces. If you rotate it a 1/4 turn either direction, one of these two pieces will then be correct, and the other three will be incorrect, and you know how to move three pieces around. So you don't have to play with parities. That's why Formula A and Formula B. All right, thank you. Do you want me to put this back into a plus shape before you go, real quick? So I'm going to do it whether you're here to watch or not. Okay, so yellows and whites are left and right. So I'm ignoring all of the obtrusions. I'm just going to pretend they're not there. So here's a white piece. Okay, it's on the top, not the front. It's going in this direction. So my Formula B is going to be this row, where it's going to land and where it begins. So I'm going to go away. Give me space. Up, in, up, away, down, in, down. No finger tricks here. And there it is placed. Here's a yellow on top, not front. It's going in this direction. So top row, first column, second column. Slide up, slide up, slide down, and that's placed. Here's a white on top. It's going in this direction. Up, down, down. Okay, here's another one. It's going in this direction. Up, down, down. Okay, and another one. Up, down, down. And up, down, down. Okay, these ones need to flip. I can do that just by doing that. So when the yellows and whites are solved, it's back into a plus shape. And then these can twist this way, and this way. So once it's a plus shape, then I just pretend it's a 5x5 with missing pieces, and I do Formula B, just the top row, or top row, one of these, doesn't matter, and then the two columns. So that's it. That's a quick overview. It works on this as well, minor adaptation. Okay, bye. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for following me. I'll see you next time. And for the rest of you, thank you for joining me as well. Go be nice to yourself. Go have a great day. Drink lots of water and have fun. And I will be back tomorrow. So, bye you guys.